2, 1.
It is the 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championship from Eloy. They call it Skydive, Arizona. Wind and rain are all that fill the sky right now. Well, hello everybody and welcome to these World Championships. You know, it's been 45 days since they last had any rain here in the greater Phoenix area. Today's day 46, and as you can hear on the hangar roof above, the heavens have opened up, and I think they're building an ark right outside the door there. Dan Debenham, along with my partner Scott Smith, for these very prestigious World Championships. Scott is also competing here. 18 countries, 51 teams in all, but let's go ahead and first talk about one woman in particular and her discipline, freestyle.
Well, the woman we're talking about is Dale Stewart. She's a four-time world champion, and with her handycam flyer, Ray Cottingham, they're the home team, and they're going to be really tough to beat. Yeah, 45 years of experience between those two, and they have a commanding lead right now. What about skysurfing? Just really 2 years of judging here at the World Championships, a sport that was innovated and dominated for a long time by the French, but not any longer. Yeah, Dan, and I think that's really the surprise story here at the World Championships is just how well the Americans are doing. Right now, they have 3 of the top 5 teams being led by the extreme team of Rob Harris with his handycam flyer, Joe Jennings. They're in first with a wide margin over Patrick de Gaillardon, who's the reigning world champion. Patrick de Gaillardon, it is time to strap yourself in and grab your Dramamine as the 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championships are set to begin. And Scott, they begin at about 13,000 feet, and as soon as you leave the plane.
That's right, Dan. And what they're trying to do here on this compulsory jump from 13,000 feet is to just get 5 clean compulsory moves in. That's what the judges are looking for, and it's only a third of the score, and they really save the good stuff for the free round.
Patrick de Gaillardon and his Sony Handycam flyer, Andy Duff. Let's take a look. How can you not watch this sport and immediately be turned on and glued to your TV set? This is really exciting, and you see why Patrick de Gaillardon is the reigning Skysurf champ. He and Andy Duff are a great team.
And the team aspect is really important here, Dan, because the Handycam flyer in the image he presents is over 25% of the total score.
Patrick de Gaillardon, he is the innovator of this sport, as we mentioned before, 33 years old. He has been in this sport for 13 years. And as you can see, they score a 73.2. That is the best of their compulsories. And if you talk with Patrick, he'll tell you, if you try this sport, you got to be a little bit different.
I think the first day, you strap your foot on the board in the plane and you're going to jump. It's a little unusual. You feel a little tension inside yourself. Say, oh. Few first jumps, I break the bindings, or I get sort of have to the board cut away by itself because the binding was not strong enough, and that was quite dangerous. One time I was close to get a back crash, and it took me a little while to figure out what is safe to use. Now everything is safe. Let's make it a lot more fun.
And there is a great look at the other half of the reigning Skysurf Championship team, Andy Duff. No doubt those two are discussing strategy for the finals. Coming up, it's Rob Harris and Joe Jennings. The Americans go for the gold. And then the women make their Skysurfing debut at the World Championships. And freestylist Dale Stewart tries to make it 5 straight. She's good. The 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championships are being brought to you by Sony Handycam and by Outdoor Products, backpacks made in the USA. The 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championships continue from Arizona. We had a chance to talk to the athletes themselves. What do they think about their sport?
This is the most magnificent sport on the face of the earth. Makes everything else pale in significance, I think.
It's like flying. It's great. You are free. You can do what you want. It's great. Yeah.
It's wild! Woo!
It's the most incredible sport in the world, and high-speed sport. It's unbelievable. You should do it yourself. It's the best thing in the world.
All right, maybe I will do it myself as we take a good look at Eric Friday, and we will soon see his partner, Werner Norenberg. Friday is the Skysurfer. Norenberg is the Sony Handycam Flyer. Together they make up one of the teams from France.
Dan, here's where the butterflies get going in your stomach. The plane's on jump run, you're getting ready to go, and you know it's showtime. It's time to perform. You see the camera flyer getting out here on the back step so that you can exit at the same time as the Skysurfer and get a good shot right off the plane.
And the beginning of their jumps are very crucial. Keep in mind that the judging officially begins from the moment they exit that door.
That's right, and you notice everybody hangs off the plane a little bit different. There's no rules except impress the judges.
5 judges sitting on the ground. We'll get to that just a little bit later. But as you can see, they very quickly follow each other, one right after the other.
And now here comes Eric Friday. And I think the thing you'll notice the most about him is his really aggressive style. His spins are super fast and really goes for it.
Eric Friday from France, 35 years old. Listen to this. 18 years he has been involved in this sport, and he has over 12,000 jumps.
That's right. Eric's also an accomplished competitor in formation skydiving with 4 world championships under his belt.
Yeah, he is one of the most experienced skydivers anywhere. Precise and full of beauty, it scores a 64.8. That will not be enough to overtake Degaillardin and Duff. And here they come. They release the board and land smoothly. But of course, once they land, really the work is just beginning for our 5 judges, because once they land, they take their tape immediately to those judges, and then they start getting points.
That's right. And what the judges are looking for when they're scoring this is creativity, the degree of difficulty, the control that they show, as well as the communications, which is how well the Handycam Flyer presents the routine to the judges.
Creativity, control, difficulty, and communication between the two, that is what the judges decide. And here is a good look at the extreme team of Rob Harris and Joe Jennings. They are from the US of A. They have been together for a short time, but they have done their work, and they say that is key. They have paid the price to be in these World Championships, and they believe that they will do very well. We had a chance to talk to them earlier about that.
You know, we did a lot of training up to this point, and we definitely needed the other competitions to get used to the competition feel and being in the competition circuit. And we learned a lot from being in the competition in the past. So, you know, we did a lot of training and knew we had to perform this time, pull something out of the bag.
Well, they've been together for 2 years now. They placed 3rd at last year's World Championships, and that delicate balance between the two is blossoming.
We really are dialed into each other on that. I pretty much know what he's going to do before he does it, and so I can make every effort to be there and have a good shot before I get behind the curve.
Rob Harris is 27 years old. Joe Jennings is 32. They're beginning to see the spotlight shine on them, and they say they want these championships badly.
You know? We want it pretty bad. I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it. We got, you know, some new routines lined up for the next 2 rounds. We're going to come out strong.
Here's a good look then at the extreme team of Rob Harris and Joe Jennings. Rob is from Los Angeles. Joe is from Redondo Beach. And when they hit the sky, they are beauty and poetry in motion.
I think the thing is here, Dan, is the teamwork between the two. Look at this move right here. It took them hundreds of practice jumps to choreograph and get that timing down between them.
Well, how about it, Scott Smith? How do they look then?
Boy, these guys are looking sharp. You're seeing some new moves here and some really dynamite Skysurfing.
Is it enough, though, to overtake the reigning world champions right now, Degaillardin and Duff? It is, 83.2. So here in the compulsories, the Americans vault to the lead. Stepping gingerly out of that door now is the Belgian team of Mark Slusny and Willy Boykins, the only all-Belgian team. And man, what a gorgeous backdrop that is, as Mark Slusny falls through the sky, and he makes it look oh so easy.
You'll notice, too, the headphones he's wearing from his Sony Walkman. He says that the music helps him concentrate in free fall. I think he just likes rock and roll. You know, the impressive thing about these two is that Mark's only been in the sport for 2 years, and the way they're doing is really impressive. Hey, whoa! Boy, did you see how close they got there, Dan? If that board hits a handicap flyer in the head, I tell you, that would hurt.
Well, the Belgium have got to enjoy their trip here to Eloy, Arizona. As you take a look at their score, a 62-2 for Mark Slusny and Willie Boykins.
I think we're okay. We are in third place for the moment. And with a bit of luck, we might be second.
And how does he feel about being here at the championships?
I think it's fantastic. So many countries together and so many people, and it's great.
Well, thank you, Mark. And when we come back, you thought we were almost over. It's just beginning. The women take to the sky next. The 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championships continue, and for the first year, women have their own division. 4 teams made it over, and they made quite an impression on us.
Take your hands from him, Captain. And get this damn ship home. This galaxy's a sea of light. And tell the crew. Look like we'll shine from the point of no return.
It's great to be here because we're only 4 women who are going to be here in this competition, and one has to win.
I'm excited by it. I think it's nice. I think it's nice that women are finally participating, getting to be part of the sport. Hey.
Well, I think everybody kind of anticipated that the women wouldn't be as aggressive as they are, and I think I expected that as well. But as it turns out, these women are just going for it. They're cutting the edge, they're turning it up and spinning it out, and they're just as aggressive as the guys.
And when they were through whirling and twirling through the winds, your winner was Gaudenzia Martinengo from Italy, along with her Sony Handycam flyer, Jerome Ehrlich of France. Gaudenzia, just 5'3", but boy, she has what it takes to become a world champion. Plenty of camaraderie and lots of excitement here for this inaugural event, and let's go ahead and take a look at how all 4 teams then wound up. As you can see, our champions, followed by McGrath and Boons, Bissiker and Smith, and Haas and Haas.
I don't know what I'm feeling. I can't believe it. I'm happy.
Comment tu te sens comme championne du monde là? C'est que tes sensations?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Even I can say that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, that's understood in any language. So you want to be a Sony Handycam flyer, huh? No problem. Just pick up a Sony Handycam, get plenty of practice, and then talk with our own Scott Smith about the nuances of it.
I'm here with former world champion Handycam flyer Jamie Paul, and he's agreed to take a little time to show us just how he flies his Handycam through the air and keeps such a nice image in frame when he can't even look through a viewfinder while he's up there.
Well, Scott, this ring sight right here has a sight within the glass, and that shows me where the center of the frame is. And past that, I just have to guess the perimeters of the frame, and that comes with the experience.
Well, why don't you take your helmet off and let's take a closer look at what you have.
Okay. Well, Scott, basically I have my Sony Handycam inside this box, this aluminum box, and that basically protects it against damage possibly caused by leaving the aircraft or climb out. But you'll notice that this camera has some extra wires on it, and basically those wires help me tell when the camera's recording. And I have a wire that runs down to my ring sight, and just prior to exit, when the green light comes on, I press my record button, and I get a little light in my viewfinder to tell me that the camera's recording.
And you are looking at one of the very best in the business. 54 24-year-old Ray Cottingham, who has 34 years of experience. He has teamed up with this young lady, Dale Stewart, to win 3 world championships in a row.
The kind of relationship I have with my cameraman is unique in the sporting world, because we present the finished product shows each of our works, but in a very different way. His work is transparent, and ideally he wants to have the camera work be inconspicuous and inobtrusive, and his goal is to show my performance in the best possible light, to make me look as good as possible.
You have to work as a team, and you have to do a lot of practice, a lot of work, so that everything becomes rather natural. So I feel we've reached the point where, rather than my reacting to her motions and everything, I either anticipate them or I know them, and we just flow at times.
So has all the camaraderie and experience paid off? Indeed it has. Dale Stewart and Ray Cottingham win the Freestyle World Championships once more.
You know, Dan, we had a great showing this year by all the ladies. Here, Carol Dorner with her handicap flyer, Troy Hahn. First year on the competition circuit, coming in at real big in 4th place. And here's Tammy Coyne. She's been giving Dale a run for her money for the last 4 years, and another great showing from her this year. And Shifumi with her camera flyer, Mike McGowan. She came up with some really innovative moves and had some tremendous scores on her free round.
You can see how this truly is an international affair here at these World Championships, and there's a good look at the women's freestyle results. Of course, the big names there, Stewart and Cottingham on top.
Okay, together now. 1, ready, set, go. Yeah!
Plenty of jokes abound about Dale Stewart because she is an aerospace engineer, and so obviously the question to ask is, what does it take to be involved in this? You got to be a rocket scientist or something? Ray Cottingham, he is an aerial cinematographer. What else?
This is terrific. This is better than all the rest of them, because the competition has grown so much. This is the best event ever, and I'm just real proud. And what a great team.
Well, it's only 4 for me. I'll work at 5 next year.
We've had enough of this serious stuff. Let's clown around when we come back with Omar and Olaf. They call themselves the Free Fly Clowns, and men's freestyle is coming up. And also, we'll have more sky surfing. It's all straight ahead at these 1994 World Championships. We are back, and we are at 13,000 feet watching Marco Manna and Bruno Broken, a couple of great names and a couple of great freestylists.
Yeah, Dan, Marco and Bruno came in first place 2 years ago, but last year they only came in second, so they're trying to come back with a vengeance. And if you look here, you see Marco's got some really exciting new moves and a special style and flair that really sets him apart from the other competitors.
I have said it before, but when you look at these pictures, it is hard to believe that there is a more graceful, beautiful, or exciting sport out there.
And the camera flyer here, Bruno Broken, really does a superb job. He's definitely one of the best in the business, and you can see just from the nice, stable, flawless image that he presents.
And as we check out the outdoor product scoreboard, that equates to a 75. That is a big score for Manna and Broken. Waiting in the wings, no pun intended, it is the Free Fly Clowns in the checkerboard squares. It is Omar and Olaf, and, well, they're a little bit different.
Yeah, it's closest to being a spaceman, man.
And I got hooked big time.
You know, when you fall in your dreams, the black thing, you know, just fall. That's pretty much like it is when you have the eyes closed. Toughest part of my job, I'd have to say, try not to crash into Olaf. How nice it could be if there's someone right there being a three-dimensional person flying like an atmosphere dolphin in front of them. Free fly clown, yeah, that's funny, that's cool.
Well, these guys are different. They have a real magnetism about them, and they have a lot of talent. As you can see, they finished in second place, but disappointing obviously as they are just 1 point shy of the champions, Broken and Mana.
And hats off to Marco and Bruno here because they beat a real talented team of Omar and Olaf, and they had a very different style of flying, but you can see that it paid off for them.
Oh, feel good. Work 1 year for this. Wow. And next year, I want more better. Yes. Quite good. It's not too bad.
I just love the international flavor that we have here at these World Championships. And here's a look at the final results in the men's freestyle. Time to turn our attention back to the Skysurfing now. And this is the All-USA team of Harris and Jennings.
You know, Dan, these guys have been shredding up the sky here all week. They got these radical new moves. These guys are totally in sync with each other and just been racking up the points. With the kind of lead they have now, there's no way anybody can touch them.
Well, they are certainly ripping through the skies. Let's go ahead and check out the Outdoor Products score, and it is official, 396.8 total points. That is going to be very hard to beat. In fact, that is impossible to beat. So who will take over second place? Will it be Frade and Nuremberg, or Diga Yardan and Duff? Back with more of the 94 World Championships after this. The 1994 Freestyle Skysurfing World Championships are being brought to you by Sony Handycam. We're headed back into the clouds now, where Rob Harris and Joe Jennings weren't the only Americans on hand. That is Troy Hartman and Vic Pampadato.
You know, Vic just started Skysurfing last year as well, and he's really come on strong in this last year, and his performance has been spectacular. Bob Greiner is one of the first Skysurfers in the United States, and he's got a style all his own, and I tell you what, he did a real good showing for the Americans here.
He looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Oh, that he is, Dan, that he is.
There's a good look at Eric Frade, the Frenchman, as he tries to battle into the second place spot overall. Keep in mind, Patrick de Gaillardin is coming up next.
That's right, Dan, and Eric beat Patrick this year at the French Open Championships, so it's going to be interesting to see which of the two take the silver medal home with them.
He looks crisp, he looks sharp, and he racks up 362.8 total points. Does that leave an opening for the defending champion, Patrick de Gaillardin? Well, if experience accounts for anything, and it does in this sport, he certainly has a shot at this, Scott.
Dan, you can never count Patrick out. He's doing some really exciting stuff here. You might notice his flying's a little bit stiff. He was in a real bad motorcycle accident just a couple months ago. The fact that he's even competing at this championships, it really says a lot for him.
Well, the Outdoor Product scoreboard says enough. 378.4 points, and that means de Gaillardin and Duff have brought home the second place prize. But first place and the World Championship goes to Harris and Jennings, and they are basking in the glow of this World Championship.
It feels great. I just don't know what to say. It was great. We had a blast, and, you know, stick with it, see if we can keep doing the same job.
The past year we've been practicing hard, but the past 2 months we've been obsessed with it, and right now this is pretty much the pinnacle of how I could possibly feel in my life, I think.
You know, they have a unique saying in the freestyling Skysurfing world, and for Scott Smith, I'm Dan Debenham, wishing you nothing but blue skies. So long, everybody.